Do you have a collection of films and videotape sitting in your attic, basement, hall closet, or a box somewhere that are being lost to time? Creative artists can transfer your 8mm, Super 8mm, and 16mm films, as well as converting your VHS, CVHS, 8mm, and mini DV to DVD. Preserve your family's video history for the generations to come. Creative Artists, 1113 West Spring Street, Monroe, 770-267-7368.
Edition of the Health Story. My name is Dee Dee Harris. I'm the Executive Director with Walton Wellness, a nonprofit located here in Walton County dedicated to the prevention of lifestyle-related chronic illness. I mentioned to you before, you may have heard about the event that we are hosting, sponsoring with the Downtown Farmers Market, is Streets in Motion, and that's where we are today. It's Saturday morning, and behind me you can see the wonderful Monroe Farmers Market. It's actually the grand opening today, and there's all kinds of vendors here with great fresh produce straight from the farm. And what we have going on with Walton Wellness is we have the whole street, and you will see some clips of some kids playing with all kinds of different just fun activities to do in the street. We've just opened it up for play, and we have challenges going on, and the kids, for each challenge they complete, they're able to turn their little card in and get a prize. So we're just out here encouraging families, not just kids but adults too, to be active and to have fun doing it. That's what Streets in Motion is all about. We will be doing Streets in Motion throughout the summer. This is our first one. We'll do it once a month. Our next one will be July 13th, and then we'll have one August 3rd, and then on into September. So hopefully you didn't get a chance to come down and join us today. July 13th, mark it on your calendar. Bring the kids, bring yourself, just come down and enjoy having an open street just to play on, which is a lot of fun. I also want to mention that this is a partnership with Advocare. Walton Wellness has joined with Advocare to help sponsor the Streets in Motion, which they have great products as well. And they're here with all of their products too. So I encourage you to check them out. They're at advocare.com. And as always, you can check us out with more information at waltonwellness.org. Thanks for watching.
I think I'm gonna try it. Good job. Very nice.
Good job.
I'll do 10.
Oh, good job. I'm pulling it. Good job. Good job. Nicely done. Very good. That is 10. You probably could have done 20. No, but you started running. That's where I'm going, exactly. On number 3, you're going to do one zip. It's a funny one. Good job!
This is Paul Mullins. We're downtown Monroe. Streets in motion right here with the farmers market. This whole street's been blocked off. And as you can see from the clips, kids have had a great time today. Just watch your calendars and advertisement. I believe in about a month they're going to have this again. It'll be a good place to bring your children to get exercise. They can bring their bicycles, tricycles, and ride on this pavement and have a grand time. So remember, the farmers market is going on every Saturday, and Streets in Motion is going to be once a month. So just watch for the advertisement when the next one will be, and bring your kids. They have had a grand time today, and as you can see from the clips, there's about every kind of exercise for the kids that are fun. This is Paul Mullins with Walton Entertainment.
everybody. I'm Verlin Deaton, along with Paul Mullins on camera, and we are here at the Roy Roberts Farm for a political rally, and it's going to be a big one because a lot of people are supposed to be here in the way of politicians. So we want you to know that you can always get what you want to know on Creative Artists programs, and Paul Mullins appreciates you tuning in as he has the program for you every week. So what we're doing here today, well, we're going to interview some politicians, and we're going to find out what they say and how much of it's going to be backed up by what they do. So remember that, folks, and we'll be talking to some other people here in just a short time. We're at the Roy Roberts Farm, another big occasion happening here today. Roy, good to see you.
Well, it's good to have you all out here. It's going to be another big event. We got everybody coming, every constitutional officer coming. It's going to be a big time today.
Well, what all is planned for today? Can you go over it briefly?
Well, after I sing and everybody stands up and sits for the standing ovation and sits down, we're going to go through recognize all our local officials, and we'll have the big state officials going to say a few words to us.
Okay, so how long do you think you will be out here?
We'll be through by 8 o'clock. We'll start eating at 6. Our program will start about 7, and we'll be through by 8.
Okay, well, it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be one of the best ones, the biggest one we've ever had.
Well, I'm sure glad you got the grounds cleaned up out here because the cows were here a while ago and it's all gone now.
The cows need to eat all the grass they can.
Okay, all right. Roy Roberts, always good to see you.
Appreciate y'all coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Roy Roberts, the Roy Roberts Farm. So, we are going to enjoy this event because of all the people that's scheduled to show up here. We have Mr. Jim Duffy here with us today. Right now, he's going to tell us about the fair tax program and what he thinks about the program. So tell us all about it.
Well, Georgians for Fair Taxation is the group that I represent. I'm state director thereof. And today we're in a quandary with the government overreach that's happening to us. And the fair tax enactment would get rid of the IRS, which is one of the major programs the government uses to control our lives. That's one of the components of the fair tax program, and it would get rid of all income taxes on the federal level, including estate taxes, business income taxes, personal income taxes, the the taxes on FICA and Medicare, and replace it with a single consumption tax at the retail level on all goods and services. We have a major problem today with the government controlling our lives, and it's somewhat analogous to what has happened in the past. Yesterday was a day of remembrance of the soldiers and military folks that have lost their lives protecting the freedoms of this country. And today we've got a big problem with problems from within controlling our freedoms, and the IRS and the income tax program is one of the major components of how that's controlled. So right now we've got another battlefield we need to use to get our freedoms back, and that's the ballot box. And the ammunition that's going to be used for that regaining of freedom is the vote. So you need to get out and vote, elect folks that will support the fair tax, and get rid of the IRS.
Do you think you can do this under the present administration of Obama?
Well, we can if we can get control of Congress. If we can get a veto-proof congressional delegation in the House and in the Senate, we can certainly get things by that he might not support. But the thing is, if he's for the little folks like he says he is, the fair tax would be a great thing for him to support, because it totally untaxes the poor.
But he didn't think of it, so he will not support anything he didn't think of.
Well, you're probably right there, but we're a nonpartisan group. We'll take support from anybody, and if he would get on board, then we'll let him sign the bill.
Well, the IRS is under scrutiny right now, so it's going to be a big problem, don't you think?
It definitely is. The IRS is, what we want to do with the fair tax is give them some good jobs to go to, because the enactment of the fair tax would create such a a boon to this economy, that there'd be more jobs than we could fill. And the IRS, with the talents that they've got there, could go to the private sector and make some good workers in the private sector.
So you're working hard to get this passed, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, thank you for talking to us today here at the Roy Roberts Farm.
You're quite welcome.
So that let it be known that he's for the fair tax program. Think about it, folks. And if you know what he's really talking about, you would be for it too. We have another politician in our program here, Stephen Simpson, and you're running for Congress, Stephen.
Yes, sir. I'm running for the 10th Congressional District.
And tell us what you plan to do if elected.
There's a crisis of leadership in Washington. We need people who genuinely care more about the country and the people they represent than just getting reelected.
Well, you're talking about a crisis, and the crises are adding up. Every week there's something new.
That's exactly right. I spent 20 years in the military, and I can tell you firsthand what's going on with the administration, and they're lying to the American public, and our national defense is just in shambles.
Right. So you want to get something done about it, and the situation is that if you elected, you will get something done.
Absolutely. We need to return the leadership and the decision making on critical military issues to the military. We do have civilian control of the military, but for example, I think everybody's familiar with Black Hawk Down and what happened there. Les Aspin, who was Secretary of Defense, denied the commanders what they needed to go in.
Well, don't you think that we are under a situation of the leader of our country is trying to be a dictator?
The will of the people is being subverted, that's for sure.
Okay, so the situation is now that politics are so mixed up, people don't know what to believe.
Yes, sir, and we've got to return to the days where we can sit down and talk about what we believe, what is right, but then at the end of the day, we can get something done rather than just name calling.
Okay, so if you're elected, what would you like to say to the people out there that will be viewing this program on television about what you say is you want to do a lot of things within the capacity that you're running for, and the fact that you want to do it with a lot of prestige toward the military, because the military right now is not being treated right.
You're absolutely correct. Our military is on track to be gutted just like Jimmy Carter gutted the military, and I won't stand for that. I'm not a constitutional scholar, but the preamble is pretty easy to read, and one of the few necessary functions of the federal government is to provide for the common defense.
Right. Okay.
And we're not doing that.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to tell us about that you have in the back of your mind in your plans of the future?
Well, I'll just say that I've spent my life serving my country. I've worked at the Pentagon. I've worked as a soldier. I've worked as a small businessman. And I'll tell you that I've eaten at the White House. I've eaten at the Waffle House, and I've cleaned out a Fahrenhouse. We need a leader who's willing to roll his sleeves up and get the people's work done.
Okay, and you plan to be one of the leader in your capacity?
Absolutely. A leader and not a follower and not just a politician. Doing what's right, even if it's not popular sometimes.
Well, thank you for coming over and talking to us on television here as we are here to farm of Roy Roberts.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of people are gathering around here. And if you see any politicians, tell them about it.
All right, sir, I will. I thank you for having me, and I just ask for your vote.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right.
I appreciate it.
We're talking about the situation here at the Roy Roberts Farm. A lot of people are gathering here today, and this is one right here that I'm glad to see. He's been my boss ever since he's been in office, and I've been writing insurance many, many years, well, at least 40 years, and I want you to know this is one of the best guys that has held the office that he's holding now, and he is doing everything right. Mr. Ralph Hudgens, Insurance Commissioner, State of Georgia, you are doing a great job.
Well, thank you very much. I assume you like the new 2-year licenses.
Oh yeah, I sure do.
2-year, and it renews on your birth month, and not all right there at the end of the year.
Right.
And so, no, we're trying to do what the people want us to do. I have an agents advisory committee, and they give me advice of things that need to be addressed, and one of them is fraud. We've had several insurance agents that we have actually put in jail because they were selling policies and they were never binding the coverage. They were just sending out a false certificate. The people thought they had insurance. When it comes if they have a claim, there's no policy there, and that's fraud. And we have a whole fraud division, and we're after that kind of thing. We're there to protect the citizens of the state of Georgia.
Well, it'll take you a while because there's so much unnecessary things going on with insurance agents that it's take you a while and take you a 4-year term to get rid of a lot of that.
Well, yeah, you're right, and I hope I get another 4-year term after this one. I'm running for re-election, and I just would like for the voters to send me back.
Well, I'm sure they will because you're doing a great job. We haven't had one in the past since I've been writing insurance. That is so thinkable of what's going on and taking care of the problems that have existed for a long time, and you're doing away with a lot of it.
Well, my background is business. I own several businesses myself. My children run them, and I understand the importance of insurance, and I'm trying to get the red tape and the bureaucracy out of the way and take care of the people of the state of Georgia.
Well, you're doing a good job with it.
Thank
and
you.
I know that the people out here that have insurance problems, just briefly tell us what people that are having problems with their insurance company can do through your office.
Well, they can call our customer service, and I've got it on the back of my business card. Well, those aren't my cards. They can call 404-656-2070, or they can call toll-free 800-656-2298, and that's our Consumer Services Division. We have about 25 people there that they do nothing but answer the telephone, and they help people that have problems with their insurance.
And that's any kind of insurance in the state of Georgia.
That's right.
Car insurance, automobile insurance.
Homeowners, life, commercial insurance, anything like that. Just give us a call, and we're there to help the people.
And I understand you from Hull, Georgia.
My home, my mailing address is Hull. I live out in the country in Madison County.
Right. Well, I know a lot of people over there. In fact, I've written in the past. I've written a lot of insurance in that area. So again, you're doing a great job. Just continue to do so.
I'm gonna do my best.
And anything we can do to help you, we're there, because being a licensed insurance agent myself, I know and I'm aware of what's going on out there. About a lot of people are misrepresenting.
That's right. And you're my best advertisement, because if you tell somebody that I'm doing a good job, they know that you know what you're talking about because you're a licensed agent, and they'll take your advice.
Well, I appreciate that too. Mr. Hudgens, my first time to meet you, and so glad to meet you.
Well, thank you.
And so glad to talk to you today. And anytime you need us, all you have to do is call us.
I sure appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We have Mr. Tom Kirby. He's here attending this activity, the festivities that are going on here today. And we are talking to politicians, and I know that you're one.
Yes, sir. I represent District 114 here in Walton County. I also have parts of Gwinnett, Brockdale, and Bear County, and always a great time to come out here to Roy's Farm for this annual event.
Okay. You know, this is a perfect place for politicians, because when the politicians gather out here, the cows don't have a chance.
Well, that's true. You see, I got my boots on, I got my ropers on, so if I need to roll up my pants if it gets too deep.
Right. Yeah, that's the truth, because, well, I know that you have been in office a while and you want to continue on.
Yes, sir. We were reelected for our second term after being elected in a special election, and then in 2014 right now we're planning to run again and continue to serve the people as long as they want to keep me up there in Atlanta.
Okay, so you are right here in Walton County taking care of a lot of people, and you want to continue.
Yes, sir. And Loganville and West Walton is a great place, and the people have been so supportive, and we just really like to be able to help them out, and anytime we can, anything we can do for them.
All right, so good to talk to you today, as we are going to have this on television in a few days, and people will see you, and they probably will know you, and they say, look at there's Mr. Kirby.
Well, I appreciate having me on here today, and it's great to be here and say hello to everybody, and if anything I can do for you, just give me a call anytime or send me an email.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello Walton County, this is Kevin Littlewood, Chairman's Report on Channel 16. Today I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things going on in the county and a couple of things about me. I was going to let you know at our recent Association of County Commissioners of Georgia convention in Savannah, I was elected to be first vice president of our association, and then in April of 2014 I will become president. You were elected by our peers around the state, all the elected commissioners, and that's very exciting, very humble to be able to hold that position. It's very esteemed. Next year, the 14th, in 2014, it'll be 100 years of ACCG and 100 years of Caterpillar, and I will be the 100th president for ACCG. It's quite an honor for Walton County, and as I said just a little bit ago, very humble to be able to represent Walton County throughout the state, throughout the nation, and there may even be a world travel trip there also. But I will do us proud and bring back some good knowledge as we travel around the United States to better make the Walton County and Georgia a better place. I want to talk to you a little bit about economic development. Economic development is a very tough issue, hotly competitive issues. We've been working several projects this year in Walton County, and so far the projects have been delayed or moved off. We've not been able to make an announcement. We are very excited that Hitachi out off of Unicia Drive, they've announced a $130 million expansion with about 250 jobs there. They're already working about 400 to 500 people, and it's exciting to have a loyal company in the county that are continuing to build here and provide jobs. That was one of the goals way back in the early 2000s, to be able to work, live, and play in Walton County, and I'm excited that we have Hitachi here, we have Walmart Distribution, Tucker Door, Minerva Hair Products just in this industrial park out off of 78. We also are very proud of the other businesses we have in Walton County too, but as we bring in major corporations like that, it does help your downtown, it helps your small businesses, and we're excited. We're working very hard on bringing other businesses here. Would like to announce that Nancy Kinsey, who's been here 19 years with Walton County, will be retiring at the end of June. We'll be updating you on her replacement as time comes on, but she has been very loyal, worked very hard for Walton County, and brought many, many millions of dollars here in economic development and for the future of Walton County. Would like to brag on her. She's been very good and well known throughout the state, and knows how to get a job done when we need it on economic development. So if you have any questions or concerns, give me a call, 770-267-1316. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for watching. I'm Dina Huff, Executive Director for the Partnership for Families, Children, and Youth. And today I would like to share with you a new document that was published a couple of weeks ago, actually for Georgia. And I wanted to tell you about a little bit about it, and ask you to go to our website where it will also be published, because you need more information on this. It's really interesting. I went to a training a couple weeks ago and received training on this, and lots of good information, and I do encourage you to read further after you hear what I have to say in this showing. So first, let me tell you what it's about. It's the Georgia Civic Health Index, and the authors for this were the Carl Vinson Institute of Government at the University of Georgia, Georgia Family Connection Partnership, our state office, Georgia Forward, and the National Conference on Citizenship. And what they did, let me just give you their statement. This was said in Macon. When it comes to civic health, Georgia is ailing. We like to talk about politics, but we don't turn out to vote. We don't trust our neighbors. We're not volunteering. We're not active in our communities. And we don't have the confidence in our public schools, the media, or corporations. And this is according to the Georgia Civic Health Index. And this is the first study of its kind. And I know that they will look to do this in years to come. I'm sure this was an expensive document to compile. But let me just give you a few things where we rank, a few numbers in where Georgia ranks, and then let you know what we can do to make changes as far as this goes. The indicators were broken into 4 categories, and Georgia ranks 46th in confidence in media, 44th in trusting our neighbors. Georgia's ranked 25th in the nation in how often we talk to our neighbors, 26th in how often we eat dinner with and see or hear from friends and family. Georgia is generally below average for community involvement, political action, and confidence in media behaviors. The state is ranked 40th in charitable giving, 41st in voter registration, and 40th in confidence in public schools. Georgia's 2 highest rankings are in political action. Georgia is 6th in the nation in expressing political opinions online and 17th in discussing politics. So, what can we do? I could go in detail and tell you about the details of where they received all of these numbers, but civic health is actually associated with better public health outcomes, lower crime rates and youth delinquency, and better economic resilience. So, what can we do here in Walton to make changes? As individuals, get to know and talk to your neighbors. Host a neighborhood gathering. Volunteer for a community project or issue that you're passionate about. Call, email, write letters, or visit one or more of your elected representatives. This can be at the local level, state level, or national level. Take part in some community events. If you hear of something going on in your community, go find out what it's about and go volunteer. Take a young person to a public meeting, community event, or to meet with a public official so they can learn at an early age what voting is all about. They need to know, they need to participate in these sorts of things, so our numbers won't be so low for the next document that is released. What community-based organizations, nonprofits, and foundations can do. And these are just a few suggestions that they've made, not all of them. Include a strategic focus on engaging young people in civic engagement activities. Include civic participation in your programming. And partner with other agencies to identify joint civic engagement activities that can be offered in your community. And work with local education institutions to create opportunities for civic engagement and careers in the civic sector. And what can our public officials and government agencies do? Partner with diverse community groups to hold public conversations on public problems. Commit to listening and responding to what all participants have to say. Provide opportunities for all types of residents to participate in public policy making. This could take the form of gathering residents to help redesign processes and format for public meetings. Use social media to target and engage all residents, especially those who are younger. And conduct orientations for groups about avenues for engaging in the public policy process. Encourage greater voter participation in all communities. What can the media do? They can cover civic programs, identify and highlight young people who are making a difference in their community. I think this is very important since we here at the partnership work with many youth in Walton County. What can the private sector do? Create in-house incentives and programs to promote employee civic engagement. Partner with local nonprofits to provide opportunities for employees to volunteer, especially those who are younger and have lower incomes. Partner with local organizations, the media, and foundations to boost voter participation, volunteerism, and community engagement. What higher education can do. Pursue, attract, and retain students from minority and low-income backgrounds. Provide opportunities and/or academic credit for internships, volunteerism in the civic sector. Provide on-campus or local opportunities for students to engage in public policy and problem solving. What our public schools can do, and this is the final thought. Provide civics education for parents, grandparents, and guardians, especially those from lower income and immigrant communities. Provide training for all teachers in civics and encourage them to weave it into their course regardless of subject matter. Provide ample opportunity, encouragement to high school students to register to vote when of age and participate in community service projects. Now, this is not saying that we here in Walton County do not do any of this or all of this. I'm sure that we do, but we can all improve on what we do as a community member, as an employee, family member, parent, grandparent. So I ask you today to get involved in your community, in your church, in your family, meet your neighbors, know who's living around you. That's very important, especially if you have kids that stay at home alone during the summer. So I do encourage you to teach your kids, take them to these meetings. If there's an opportunity for them to learn about something that's going on in their community, I would encourage you to take them with you. Go with them. It's a great learning opportunity. So I just wanted to give you a little tidbit about what this is all about. And if you have any further questions for me, please always feel free to call me here at the partnership. My number is 770-207-6060. Thank you.
Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of The Health Story. My name is Dee Dee Harris, the Executive Director of Walton Wellness, Inc., a nonprofit located here in Walton County dedicated to the prevention of lifestyle-related chronic illness. Each week I like to come to you and tell you some kind of new information or something that you might see in the headlines or some resources that are available around our community. And today I want to talk to you about an event that Walton Wellness is going to be having throughout the summer. It's called Streets in Motion. And we have partnered with the downtown farmers market in Monroe, the Monroe Farmers Market, which is every Saturday throughout the summer into September. And once a month, Walton Wellness is going to be hosting what we call Streets in Motion. And basically, we have shut down a section of Midland Avenue, which is right next to the farmers market, which is on Court Street in downtown Monroe, and we've just opened it up to pedestrian traffic only. We are inviting families to come out and bring their tricycles, big wheels, whatever it might be. It's a great just area to allow kids to just come out and ride and play, bring the sidewalk chalk, whatever it might be that they might enjoy doing. We also have partnered with Advocare, and Advocare is going to be providing some challenge stations. So kind of what we want is people are going to come to the Streets in Motion and they will get a card. And from this card, they will take around to these stations. And if they do so many stations and bring the card back to us, you'll actually win a prize. So it's just a way of trying to promote people to just be active and to have fun while you're doing it. Being active and exercise doesn't necessarily mean having to go to the gym or having to go out and run several miles or whatever. There's a lot of activities and a lot of ways that you can be active and get exercise while you're having fun, and it doesn't have to feel like work. So that is what the basis of Streets in Motion is. Streets in Motion is just about having fun, being active, being with your family, and not having to feel like it's work to get some exercise put in the morning. So our first one will actually be, this will be airing after our first one. It is going to be June 8th, but we will be having them, as I said, once a month through the summer. So our next one will be July 13th. We will be having the Streets in Motion at the farmers market. So I hope that you will hear about this. Maybe you'll hear some friends or neighbors or family members that choose to participate and have a great time, and maybe you'll get to come next time if you're not with us this Saturday. I think it is a fun event, and it's just an opportunity for closing down a section of the street and letting people just be able to play in the street, basically. So I hope that you do hear about it and join us for Streets in Motion. If not this time, we hope that we will see you later in the summer. July, August, and September, we will have Streets in Motion events. Just be looking for it in the paper or in the downtown newsletter. They'll be advertising it each time that we have it. As always, you can find us on the web at waltonwellness.org. We have great resources there on our website and more information. Also, all of my contact information is there as well. If you'd like more information about any of the events we do, or if you have questions that in regards to your health or anything in that nature, please contact us and we'll be happy to talk with you and share more information. Thanks for watching.
What grades are y'all in?
Welcome. I'm Molly Kimler with the Walton County Cooperative Extension here in Walton County. I'm with the Nutrition Education Program. And today we're going to be doing something with some 4-Hers today. We're doing a Serve Safe training today for our 4-Hers that are in the food projects. This is a very important lesson that they'll be learning. This class lasts about 6 hours today, and they will go home with a world of knowledge. They are going to learn so much. So really, there are several different kinds of Serve Safe classes they can take. And today I've got with me Dr. Judy Hibbs. She's my area agent, and she is going to be teaching the class today. So she's going to kind of tell you a little bit about what she'll be doing, and then we're going to she'll tell you also how we can find out more about classes that are available for employers that need this critical training.
Thank you. As Molly mentioned, I'm here to teach the Serve Safe class today for the Walton County 4-H program. And Serve Safe is actually a national certification program for food service. And there's 2 levels of it. There's a manager level that is a really full-blown 2-day program with a standardized proctored exam at the end. And according to the Georgia Food Code, every restaurant manager and every food service manager in Georgia has to be certified with the Serve Safe. So we teach that on a regular basis. There's another level of Serve Safe called the Food Handler class, which is a shorter time period, a more easy test at the end, and it's intended for the employees or the staff that work in restaurants or food service. So it's really kind of special for these 4-H students that are studying nutrition projects to want to be in the Serve Safe program. They'll learn about food safety today. There's 3 different ways that our food can become unsafe, through chemical ways such as pesticides that are around that we treat pests with. There's biological ways like pathogens that are transferred into food or grow on food, and there's physical ways that food might become unsafe, such as things that fall into foods. If I were to ask all of you if you have a food safety story to tell, you could probably all tell about eating something and you look down and there's a hair or a fingernail in it. And so it's our job in the Serve Safe program to teach people how to to be careful and not let that happen in the food service industry. But we'll also cover things like personal hygiene and the importance of washing hands. And one thing that we'll do when we cover that part is we have an activity that is really pretty neat. We have this magic potion that glows when you put it under the black light. So we'll have the students put this on their hands and then go wash their hands, and we'll put the black light on them after they wash their hands to see if they washed off all the potion. So that's kind of an indication of how well they wash their hands, and we do that with the ServSafe classes all the time. We'll also talk about controlling time and temperature and the importance of time and temperature and keeping foods out of the temperature danger zone. And one of the best things that even you as a consumer can have in your home is a thermometer. And just a simple meat thermometer like this one that you can buy at Walmart or really anywhere is so important, because you can take the temperature of your food and know that you've cooked it to the proper internal temperature. And then another type of thermometer that's very important is just a simple one that can go in your refrigerator or your freezer. In Cooperative Extension, from time to time, people will call me and they'll say, "Oh, my power has gone out and I think everything is thawed out in my freezer. Is it okay to use that?" And my first question is, do you have a thermometer in your freezer? And they usually say no. But if they had a thermometer in their freezer, we could tell if the temperature is still at the right temperature. If the food has not gotten warmer than 40 degrees, then it's okay to freeze. So that would be a really good thing to add to both your refrigerator and your freezer. And then we'll also talk about cleaning and sanitizing. And I mentioned one of the ways that foods can become unsafe is through chemicals that might get in food. And so not only pesticides, but cleaning solutions, sanitizing solutions. So all of those have to be handled carefully, kept away from food preparation areas. And so, ServSafe is a really good program for just general food safety knowledge, but especially if you're working in the food industry, we would be happy to set up a class and let you go through this program as well. And if you're interested, you can call Ms. Kimler. The number at the Walton County Extension Office is 770-267-1324. Another interesting activity that we'll do with the students today is something called a white powder activity. And we use this to illustrate the importance of labeling your foods, especially if you take something out of an original container. You might know that you put flour in the container, but it might be boric acid or something that you don't want to put in foods. So for example, girls, if I were to give you this or this one or that, could you tell me, is that sugar or is that cleaning detergent? Is that laundry detergent or is that cream of tartar? So you don't know. And that's the importance of labeling, because if it's cream of tartar, that'll make a nice meringue for your pie. But if it's laundry detergent, not a good thing to put in your pie.
Hey, this is Jennifer from Monroe Veterinary Clinic. I was just in Caitlin, and we're going to talk about some common ear problems that you may have or have not experienced. One of the most common things that people think that their dog may have experienced is ear mites. And although it's possible, ear mites are typically found in cats, not in dogs. So usually what the problem is either a yeast overgrowth inside the ear canal or a bacterial overgrowth. And sometimes it can be a combination of both. So what we usually do when we have a dog that comes in for shaking her head, or sometimes it's just an odor that the owner will notice from down in the ear, or there may be some redness. When you pick up the ear, you might see some redness around the ear, a foul odor, like I said. So what we typically do is get a sample of what is down in the ear canal, roll it out onto a slide and stain it with a special kind of stain, and then look at it underneath the microscope. And that way we can determine what kind of antibiotic or cleaner will be appropriate for your animal to go home with and to be treated with. So this is my dog Pumpkin, and she doesn't have an ear infection, but she routinely gets her ears cleaned just as a prophylactic way to make sure she doesn't get an ear infection. And we recommend doing that maybe once a month, maybe even more sooner if your dog is prone to ear infections. So this is a basic over-the-counter ear cleaner. We recommend using something that's labeled for dogs and cats as an ear cleaner. A lot of times we will have clients that may have tried water or hydrogen peroxide, alcohol, and you don't want to do that because a lot of times it makes it worse. And alcohol burns and can ulcerate the eardrum or ear canal. So what I have here is a model, and it just shows that the ear canal is a sharp right angle, and you don't want to use a Q-tip at home because if you're not experienced in how to cleaning ears and trained properly, you can push that debris further down the ear canal and it can cause a serious problem. Another reason not to use anything that hasn't been approved by a veterinarian if your dog has an ear infection is there is an eardrum right here, and you want to make sure that the eardrum is still intact. If you use something that's not approved, then it can cause some pretty good damage. So what I'm going to do is just flip her ear up, and let's see, we'll do this one. So we'll flip her ear up and try to keep her from not shaking her head right away. And then just gently massage the base of her ear right here. And it's okay if she shakes her head after you've massaged the ear cleaner in, because you kind of want to get some of that debris that's trapped into the ear, and so it'll come out. And then you want to use either like a gauze square or a cotton ball and go in the ear and just press down and try to just wipe out any discharge that may be inside the ear. So that is how to clean your dog's ears, and you did good. This is also a tool that we use for looking down in the ear canal to see if the ear canal is ulcerated, if it's cleaned properly, and also to make sure that the eardrum is intact. If you have any questions at all, feel free to give us a call. My name is Jennifer Allen. I'm a registered tech at Monroe Veterinary Clinic. I have a great staff of people that can be very helpful in answering any of your questions about ear cleaning. And if you don't have a basic ear cleaner, you can stop by and we can recommend one for you. So we're here at Monroe Veterinary Clinic, 823 East Spring Street, Monroe, and our phone number is 770-267-3690. See you soon.
I'm Kenny Sargent with Keep Walton Beautiful and the Walton County Recycling Center, and I want to thank you all for tuning in today. I had a few things I wanted to share with you all today. Some things that have been asked and some questions that we've had. First of all, I wanted to talk a little bit about citizens asking for help when they come in unloading. A lot of times, as you know, this is especially now, this is the busiest time of the year, and most of the staff here is super busy with all the processing and whatnot that goes on. So if you have a large load and it's more than you can handle, when you come across the scale to weigh in, if you will tell the scale house operator that you do need help, they will find some for you if any's available. And we'd be happy to help in the unloading of any of the things you have to dispose of or recycling. You will have to ask for that help though, so that we will know. Another thing that I wanted to share is with the county equipment, we cannot do any of the unloading with the county equipment we have here. Some people come in with some extra heavy stuff and they want us to use the Bobcats to unload, and we cannot put the Bobcat buckets or any of the equipment we have near any of your personal private property, whether it be the truck or the trailer. So just keep that in mind, and we will help out any way we can, but we can't do anything that makes ourselves liable or could do anything to endanger any of you. Outside of that, things are super busy here at the recycling center. The last several weeks we've had almost every day we've had almost 100 cars across our scale, so you guys will have to be patient with us. We're doing the best we can out here to keep the pad cleaned off and a place for you guys to dump, and we appreciate you using us. Don't forget that we have the new cooking oil that we're trying to get kicked off, and it really hasn't made a splash yet, but we do want you guys to remember that the cooking oil is on the end of the recycling drive-through. It doesn't go with the used motor oil and transmission fluid anymore. It has its own separate place to go. And if you don't see where that is, again, ask any of the staff members down here for help. And that's about all I have for now, and I appreciate you guys tuning in, and come out and see us.
My name is Dylan, and I'm here with Reboot Computer Company to give you the Reboot Tech Tip. Today I'm going to talk about Windows 8 and what to expect if you're buying a new computer. Let's say you're at your local computer store such as us, or it's anywhere you can buy electronics and you're looking for a new computer. You notice basically everything's different. Why is it so different? Basically what Microsoft has done with Windows 8 is they have actually changed everything. It's called the modern UI. It's more of a touchscreen oriented interface, and it definitely comes with a learning curve. Now, what you'll have to do basically is you have to sit down and relearn where everything is, and it can be a bit complicated for some people. So our recommendation, if you have time to spare, definitely look at try it before you buy it, basically, because if you get frustrated easily, we definitely don't recommend getting Windows 8, because it is, like I said, a big learning curve. We here at the store, we still do sell Windows 7 laptops. If you're, let's say, a business or something like that, it absolutely needs Windows 7, or if you enjoy Windows 7 and dislike Windows 8, we can still sell Windows 8. We can sell it on desktops. We can put on basically anything you would like. If you have any further questions, we can be glad to help you out. Our number here is 770-207-9209. And we also offer Windows 8 training too. If you had recently bought a Windows 8 laptop, we can also help you out, train you, basically get you more familiar with it. And again, my name is Dylan with Reboot Computer Company, and this was the Reboot Tech Tip of the day. Thank you and have a great day.
Thanks for tuning in today. We're going to show you some of the dogs and cats here that are available at the Walton County Animal Control Shelter. The winter slowdown has ended and we're starting to get a lot of dogs and cats in, so we really need your help. If you come down to the shelter and want to adopt, we've got plenty of cats, especially kittens. So many kittens come in this time of year. So we need your help to come and adopt. If you have a cat, maybe get her spayed or neutered, and that way we don't get so many in. Also, we have, as you'll see, a lot of nice dogs in. Small dogs, big dogs, purebred dogs. We do put them on our website at waltonpets.net, so you can see what's currently at the shelter. That site is kept current throughout the week. Or you can come down to the shelter Monday through Friday from 2 to 5 and see what we have available. And now we'll show you some of the dogs and cats that are here at the shelter.
Hello. It's kitten season again. We have probably about 17 kittens down here right now. They range from age 2 months to 6 months old. We have some adults. They need to get some good homes.
This is Louie. He's a 4-month-old beagle. He's a really sweet boy and he could really use a good home.
We have a year-old male beagle mix. He is not neutered. He's a very sweet dog. We need some time spent with him about to learn how to walk on a leash. Just like all the rest of our animals down here, they need a good home.
This is a 2-year-old pit. She's a really sweet girl and she really likes to love on you. She could really use a good home.